one of the things that we decided early on is that we weren't going to sugarcoat anything. And a lot of people will say that, a lot of people do that, and a lot of people have done it, and God bless them all for doing it. The benefit of it is if you do that, you from the get-go, everything from that point, you're heading up. I mean, we put together a doomsday budget right out of the chute, late March. This is what could happen if we lose this, if we lose that, and so forth. We put together operational continuity plans if it got really bad. And that obviously troubled the board and troubled some key stakeholders early on. And they're not used to that. I mean, they're used to kind of us saying the sky is always rosy and so forth and so on. We said, look, this is what's happening. This is where we could see job losses. We could see funding loss. We could see that. It helped them contemplate what the world would look like if, or I should say our community didn't look like if we weren't around. And they didn't like that picture very much. So that was more or less kind of taking out the trash early, because from that point on, we were able to really talk about really what a value add is, because value add is a slogan which we all use. But if you have that doomsday scenario, if you will, and you don't have to call it doomsday, if you have that doomsday scenario and everything you add to that is truly what you're adding to the equation, and they can see that, that is extremely helpful. We are still to this day trying to figure out how best to articulate what our value proposition was to our funders throughout this. Obviously, you go to the big ones first, and you talk about what it is that's important to them, and you lean into them. It's like any other business. You can't say to them, this is what I've got, and this is what it costs. You have to say to them, what do you need and what can you spend? And then you lean into that. Be that value proposition, because it's not up to you, it's up to them what it is they're going to do with their money. So you have to give them a reason why they would rather give you money than not. So as I said earlier, you never waste a good crisis. And all of us, including my board, my funders, we're going to them and saying, what have we learned from this so far? What lessons can we apply and be ready for it next time? That is alone has value to a lot of people, particularly a lot of people who are in a position to fund. They understand risk management. And they understand that if we learn from this, that has a tremendous amount of value. And asking them their opinion, asking them to give that input is another way to frankly pull them closer to it, because wallets tend to follow hearts. And if you've got people that are actively engaged and giving you the input that you frankly need, they're going to be much more willing to help fund you in the future.